Rasulullah Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam received the revelation. The Prophet alone in the Hira cave, and the angel Gabriel brings revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Angels came to him and said, "Read." He said, "I can't read." The angel Gabriel held me and hugged me until I felt shortness of breath. Then let me go, saying again, "Read it." I replied, "I can't read." He held me 3 times until I felt shortness of breath. Then let me go and said, "Recite in the name of your Lord who created. He has created man from a clot of blood. Read, and your Lord is the most gracious, who teaches humans by means of Al-Kalam. He forbids to man what he does not know." Quran Surah Al-Alaq 1-5. Then Rasulullah Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam returned to Khadija's house in full fear until his body shook. Rasulullah said to Khadija, "Cover me." Finally he was covered until his fear disappeared. After that the Prophet began to tell what had happened to Khadija. He said, "I'm actually worried about myself." Hearing this then Khadija replied, "Absolutely not. By Allah, Allah will never insult you. In fact, you are the one who always connects kinship ties, always bears people who are in trouble, always does what is needed, always protects guests and helps the suffering of those who defend him. Truth." Then Rasulullah Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam was invited by Khadija to meet one of the children of his uncle named Waraka bin Nawfal bin Asad bin Abdul Uzza. He was an Arab resident who embraced Christianity during the Shadow or Jahiliyyah era. In addition, Waraka is also a person who has good Hebrew skills. He even wrote a number of books and Bibles in Hebrew, even though he was blind and old. Arriving there Khadija said to Waraka, "O my uncle's son, listen to the story of your brother's son." Then Waraka asked Rasulullah Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam, "O son of my brother, what do you see?" Hearing questions from Waraka, Rasulullah told about what he had seen and experienced while at the Hira cave. Then Waraka said, "That is Namus, Gabriel, that Allah sent to Musa. Hopefully I will still be alive when you are expelled by your people." The Prophet asked, "Are they going to expel me?" Waraka replied, "Yes, because everyone who carries what you carry must be despised by people. So someday you will experience times like that, and if I am still alive, I will definitely help you as much as I can." Not long after that meeting Waraka died. Furthermore, the Prophet Muhammad received revelations continuously for approximately 23 years as a marker of the start of human civilization, especially Islam. In order to implement praise, periods and stages of dua. 1. The Mecca period is 13 years. 2. The Medina period was 10 years. The Mecca period can be divided into 3 stages. Stages of preaching clandestinely lasted for 3 years. Stages of preaching openly lasted for 6 years. Stages of preaching outside Mecca lasted for 4 years. The people who first received the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam. The people who first accepted the teachings and calls of Rasulullah Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam are called as Sabiqun al-Awwalin. The meaning of the word is the first people to convert to Islam. The Sabiqun al-Awwalin figures are Khadija, the wife of the Prophet Muhammad, Zayd bin Haritza, the adopted son of the Prophet, Ali bin Abi Talib, the cousin of the Prophet, and Abu Bakr, who is his close friend. After that, they also continued in the footsteps of the Prophet in spreading Islam. Abu Bakr managed to persuade 5 other people to embrace Islam. They were Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqash, Zubair bin Awam, Talha bin Ubaidillah, Abdurrahman bin Auf, and Uthman bin Affan. Apart from the names mentioned, there are still many people who converted to Islam in the early days of preaching. They all came from the Quraysh tribe and were called /friends, meaning people who met the Prophet, believed in him and died for faith. Hijra to Habasaya, Ethiopia, the first. After going through a difficult period when preaching, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered Rasulullah Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam and the Muslims to move to Habasaya. Those who migrated were the companions of the Prophet who were often persecuted and tortured by the Quraysh. Sheikh Shafi'ur Rahman al-Mubarakuri explained, Rasulullah Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam already knew that Ashman and Najasi, the king who ruled over Habasaya, was a just king, so that no one was wronged by his side. Therefore, he ordered several Muslims to migrate to Habasaya to escape the trials while taking their religion with them. Precisely in the month of Rajab, the 5th year of prophethood, a group of friends emigrated for the first time to Habasaya. They consisted of 12 men and 4 women led by Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anhu. Sayyidah Ruqayya, the daughter of Rasulullah Sallallohu'alaihiwassalam, was also part of this group. He said about the 2 of them, they were the first residents of Baitul Haram who migrated in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after Ibrahim and Lut. They walked stealthily in the middle of the night and went to the beach, so that the Quraysh would not know. Coincidentally, when they arrived at the port of Sayabin, 2 ships arrived and were about to leave for Habasaya. After the Quraysh learned of the departure of the Muslims, they began to chase, but the Muslims managed to escape safely. Their Muslims get good treatment. Hijra to Habasaya, Ethiopia, the second. The second migration to Habasaya was led by Jafar bin Abi Talib. This migration was followed by more Muslims than the first migration. According to a history, 101 Muslims attended the second stage of the Hijra to Habasaya, consisting of 83 men and 18 women. The infidels of Quraysh did not let the people who emigrated live peacefully for granted. They sent Abdullah bin Abu Rabi'a and Amr bin Alash to go to Habasaya to meet a Najasi. The envoy was given many gifts and assigned to convince a Najasi to expel the Muhajirin from his country. All efforts made by Abdullah bin Abu Rabi'a and Amr bin Alash to influence a Najasi failed. Even Abdullah bin Abu Rabi'a and Amr bin Alash had slandered the Muhajirin, but a Najasi soon learned the truth. And Najasi said to Abdullah bin Abu Rabi'a and Amr bin Alash, "Even if you bribe me with a mountain of gold, I will never hand them over to you." Abdullah bin Abu Rabi'a and Amr bin Alash were forced to return to Mecca with the gifts they had brought earlier and of course without the emigrants. The Muhajirin remained in Habasaya until the Prophet Muhammad migrated to Medina in 622. After hearing that the companions had emigrated to Medina, those who were in Habasaya gradually returned to Mecca and followed them to Medina.